Forget GPT 5.6, now GPT-6 is officially slated to launch in just a month, completely ditching its original architecture, while DeepMind has been grinding in silence to drop an absolute monster with Gemini 3.5 Pro. And on top of that, we have massive leaps in real-time world generation. We have a lot to unpack today. Let's start with the massive leak surrounding OpenAI and Anthropic. According to a prominent leaker, GPT 5.6 will actually be the final model in the 5 series. The big scoop here is that GPT-6 is coming way earlier than expected, possibly even later this month. Internally, OpenAI initially intended to continue using their roughly 4 trillion parameter SPUD base all the way through GPT-6, but they decided against it. Instead, it will be based on a brand new, significantly larger pre-train. There is a ton of excitement at OpenAI over this new base because they believe it's what they need to truly compete with Fable 5 and the upcoming Fable 5.1, which is reportedly in the late stages of Anthropic's pipeline and expected in the coming weeks. But what OpenAI actually dropped today is GPT-Live. They are officially rolling out a new generation of voice models for natural human-AI interaction right into ChatGPT. The core technical leap here is that it is built on a full duplex architecture. As an OpenAI team member pointed out, they are calling this Live 1. Because of that full duplex architecture, this model can listen, speak, reason, and hand off complex work all at the exact same time without ever breaking the flow of conversation. They are treating this not just as a voice feature, but as an early glimpse into ambient, effortless superintelligence. While everyone is watching OpenAI, Google's DeepMind has been working quietly, and the results are honestly terrifying. Users are getting their hands on Gemini 3.5 Pro checkpoints in Arena and calling it straight up monster performance. Take a look at this. A user prompted Gemini 3.5 Pro to build a 3.js tower crane, and the AI just completely nailed the physics. You are looking at real cable physics, active load swing, and proper counterweight balance, all generated from code. Users are noting that this specific level of spatial reasoning is completely outpacing Fable 5, GPT 5.6 Sol, and Grok 4.5. And to prove it wasn't a fluke, another user ran a comparison, generating a Leonardo da Vinci Ornithopter in 3.js across different models, running them on Codex, Claude Code, and Anti-Gravity with a reference image. This is Gemini 3.5 Pro. The wings flap cleanly, the motion is incredibly smooth, and it looks mechanically sound. Compare that to Gemini 3.1 Pro, GPT 5.5x High, 3.5 Flash, and Opus 4.8. Gemini 3.5 Pro is just showing insane capability jump here. But the coding wars don't stop there. Cursor just announced they've partnered with SpaceX AI to train Grok 4.5. This is their most powerful model yet, and the first built for more than just software engineering. Look at these benchmarks. On SWE Bench Pro, Grok 4.5 hits 64.7%, beating GPT 5.5 at 58.6%, and easily outperforming Composer 2.5. On Terminal Bench 2.1, it hits a massive 83.3%, going toe-to-toe with Fable 5. It also scored a solid 62.0% on DeepSeek 1.0. What makes this even crazier is the pricing. Grok 4.5 is basically outperforming Sonnet 5 while being significantly cheaper. Grok 4.5 is priced at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output, compared to Sonnet 5's $10 output cost and 5.5's massive $30 output cost. And keep in mind, Cursor is still set to release Composer 3 as an even smaller, more efficient model soon. To see what Grok 4.5 can actually do, a user asked it to build a simple Mario-style game with a whole world and monsters. And it literally just built Super Grok Bros. As you can see, the coin collection registers properly, the jump physics are surprisingly dialed in, and you can stomp on the little enemies to increase your score. It also absolutely destroys in particle physics tests. In this burning paper test against the Chinese model Minimax M3, Grok 4.5 on the left generates a highly dynamic simulation of glowing, sparking embers slowly eating away at the edge of the paper. Meanwhile, Minimax M3 on the right just lazily expands a dark circle with a generic fire texture over the text. However, it's not a complete victory lap for Grok. Another user tried to test Grok 4.5 fast by asking it to recreate a weather app inspired by an official demo video. The screenshot on the left shows this incredibly sleek, fluid UI. But the actual generated output on the right is, well, it's functional, but it's just a standard dashboard, nothing too impressive. It definitely doesn't match the demo, proving that some of these promotional videos are still heavily misleading compared to the raw generations. But Grok isn't the only secret weapon hiding inside Cursor right now. A user just spotted a completely unannounced model in their dropdown labelled Claude Honeycomb EAP. If you look closely at the tooltip, this is an Anthropic research model currently in early access preview. It has a massive 1 million context window, features per-turn controls, and has safety fallbacks built in. This could be possibly laying the groundwork for Opus 5. The user immediately put it to the test with the classic Pelican bike prompt, and the result is flawless. Look at this SVG animation. The model perfectly generates a pelican with a green racing helmet, a red scarf blowing in the wind, and a little blue fish resting in its beak, all while pedaling a bicycle. The motion is smooth, and the layering of the vector graphics is spot on. Anthropic is definitely cooking up some serious front-end generation capabilities. As of now, this model has been removed from Cursor. I think it was probably a slip-up from Cursor's internal team. Who knows? Let's wait and see. Moving into the gaming and generative world space, Reactor just launched Lingbot World 2. This is their newest real-time world model, and it's available today exclusively via their API. As you can see from the promo compilation, they are pushing richer interactivity, much sharper visual fidelity, and advanced camera controls to make generated worlds feel alive. But let's look at a real user test. A user hopped into the sandbox and built a playable world from a single prompt. As you can see, they generated a guy riding a jet ski in the ocean. Then, in real time, they typed "holding a gun" into the prompt box, and the model instantly updates the live scene to equip the character with a rifle while maintaining the water physics and motion. Another demo shows a highly realistic Pooh bear walking continuously through a bamboo forest. The user notes that the prompt to playable aspect is real. There is no game engine, no setup, and no code. But they also dropped a major reality check. You cannot treat this like a real game right now. It's more like a real-time world video you can steer. The second you try to play it like a true game, the logic falls apart and nothing holds together. Furthermore, because it's generating frames on the fly, it literally eats your API credits alive. Every single second and every movement costs you money. It's too early for shipping anything real, but this absolutely shows the direction gaming is heading. Over in the image generation sector, ByteDance has officially announced Seedream 5.0 Pro. They are marketing this as a multimodal image generation model, heavily focused on professional production capabilities and efficient content creation. As the promo highlights, it features native, multilingual input and interactive precision editing. You can see it take a rough sketch, generate a white box 3D room, apply specific hex code color palettes, and then seamlessly swap out the couch for a Lego structure using layered layer separation. The API is now available on Byte Plus under the name Dola Seedream 5.0 Pro. ByteDance says AI generation is evolving beyond single images, and you can see that in these user outputs. Look at the complex information visualization here. It generated a full RPG inventory screen with readable skill trees, statistical graphs, and a topographical minimap. A complete, highly structured e-commerce products page for a Brewista espresso machine. The structural coherence and text rendering here are top tier. Meanwhile, Meta has shipped Muse image right inside Meta AI, and it comes with a massive, somewhat controversial feature. It natively allows you to mention anyone's public Instagram account, and the model will pull their public photos to generate images of them. Users tested it out against GPT Image 2, Nano Banana 2, and Rev 2.0. As you can see in this grid, Muse image completely nails the likeness of people like Mark Zuckerberg and Sundar Pichai. But the real tell is with less photographed figures like Perplexity's Aravind Srinivas or Kai-Fu Lee. Frontier models usually fail hard without a reference. But because Muse runs through Muse Spark to search the web and blend photos before rendering, it gets their faces incredibly accurate. Now there is a privacy opt-out, but it is turned on by default, meaning anyone can generate images of you if your account is public. On the technical side, it takes about 30 to 35 seconds to generate, and it features an e-commerce integration where you can snap a photo of your room and get a restyle with shoppable items from the marketplace that you can buy on the spot. Wrapping things up with some benchmarks, Google for Developers announced an upgraded methodology for Android Bench. They are now using the Harbor framework for tougher, real-world AI reasoning tests. Looking at the board, Claude Fable 5 is still leading the pack at 84.5%, followed by GPT 5.5 at 80.2% and Sonnet 5 at 76.2%. But the Western labs better watch their backs, because the open source wave in China is accelerating fast. DeepSeek is preparing for an imminent launch of V4GA, which is expected to be on par with, or better, than GLM 5.2. Even crazier, Minimax is preparing to launch a staggering 2.7 trillion parameter open source model. Internally known as M3 Pro, this model is slated for release as early as Q3. This is over 6 times bigger than their current flagship M3 model, making it by far the largest Chinese AI model on the market, built specifically to handle complex, multi-step reasoning. Things are moving faster than ever right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next major breakthrough. See you in the next one.